Hi, welcome to Rissaroxa and Design by Geeks. Today I'm going to be showing you our strawberry gift box. This cute little box is great for holding candy or small gifts, and you can choose from the version with seeds or the version without. On the version without seeds, as you can see, I've used a paper that has a polka dot texture. This would also be cute with a patterned paper as well. For the version with seeds, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can add a second color of paper on the inside to have your seeds be a different color, or you can just leave it as holes like that one. I've put a link in the video description where you can buy this SVG file. Let's begin. Start by cutting out your pieces on your machine. If you're doing the version with seeds, your berry piece is going to have holes like this one. If you're doing the version without seeds, then there won't be any holes in this piece. You'll also have the stem piece, and then if you are choosing to make the version with seeds and you want to use the second color for the seeds, you'll cut out 5 of the seed color pieces. For the seed color, I recommend using a copy weight paper or a very light cardstock. You want it to be something that is going to bend easily so that it's not too thick when you're folding the box. You'll note that the berry piece has score lines, so Cricut users, when you're making this, make sure that you set and attach those score lines and use the Cricut version of the SVG file. If you're not sure how to set and attach score lines, check out the link in the cards. You'll also need to cut an 18-inch piece of ribbon, regardless of which version you're making. You're going to start by pre-folding the berry piece along the score lines. And make sure you fold down the little side tab as well. If you are going to use the different colors for the seeds, your next step is to glue in these 5 pieces into each of the 5 sections. When you're placing those, make sure you stay inside of the score lines, that you're not covering up anywhere where the box needs to bend. Also make sure that you're not covering up that top hole. That top hole is not a berry hole, that's for our ribbon later. So I'm going to start by gluing the first section. And again, I'm making sure that stays inside of those score lines for that berry section. And then just repeat that for the other 4 sections. And then here's what the inside looks like when you're all done. Now, if you're not making the version with seeds, or if you want to leave the seed holes as just holes, you'll skip the step with the liner. Here's what it looks like from the outside with the different lining color. Next, you're going to form your berry shape by bringing the 2 ends together like so, and you'll place some glue on this little side tab to keep that together. And then just wait a little bit for the glue to dry before going on with the next step. Once the glue is dry, you're going to start stringing your ribbon through the holes at the top. If your ribbon is wider than the hole, you can cut the end of your ribbon at an angle so that it comes to a point. That'll make it a little bit easier to string through. So you're just going to start by going in from the back of the first side and repeating until you do all 4 sides, going in from the back and pulling it through the front. And I'm just getting it so the ends are roughly even, and that's what it's going to look like with the ribbon all strung through. And at this point is when you're going to want to start filling your box, because we're going to close the top next. I'm not going to fill the box because I'm just showing you how to make it, but this is the point where you would put something inside. Your next step is you're going to pull the ribbon to start closing the box. So you're going to gather your ends and you're going to start with one end and just kind of pull it through both ends until the tops kind of come inward toward the middle. And that's why you don't want to use a paper that's too thick for the seed color, because it's going to make this harder to bend in at the middle. And just kind of pull that about as closed as you want it. Something like that's okay, because our stem is going to cover this up, so it doesn't have to look perfect necessarily. And you want to make sure that the ends of the ribbon are roughly even. It doesn't have to be perfect because we'll be trimming this later. But once the top is as closed as you like it, go ahead and tie it into a half knot if you like, if you want to kind of keep it closed. So kind of like the first step of tying your shoelace. You're not tying a full knot, you're just going to tie it into a little half knot like that. Next, we're going to add our stem, and if you notice where the ribbon ends, it's a little bit off center. We have 2 holes for the stem, so to kind of make it a little bit more centered, I'm just going to run one end of the ribbon kind of to the opposite side of where it ended originally. And this might take a little bit of finagling. You might have to let it go loose a little bit to be able to get it through there. I've got some vision problems, so I had to bring it up a little bit closer to my eye to get it through that other hole. But if you see, I have one end of the ribbon going out now through the other hole. And then I can pull this again a little bit tighter. But now our ribbons are kind of a little bit more centered, and we're going to now pull each end of the ribbon through each of these holes. So one ribbon goes through one hole, the other ribbon can go through the other hole. And now you can go ahead and just tie this in a bow. And once you have your bow tied, you can adjust it how big you want the bow loops, where you want it to look pretty. And then you can trim the ends of your ribbon to length. Your box is essentially complete now. Last, if you want, you can curve up the ends of the stem along these leaves to kind of sculpt it a little bit to make it look a little bit more like a natural strawberry. And voila, here you have it, a very sweet little strawberry that anyone would love to get. Have a very nice rest of your day. Bye.
We hope you liked this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.